So many people are afraid of the kitchen. Don't be. Get in there and cook. A lot of what inspires me is my Mima. She would go in the kitchen and prepare meals which could feed an army, her army. And a lot of what she knew came from the amazing parents that raised her. Southern cuisine not only soothes my palate, but flows through my blood. From Mima, Papa, and Granny. Collards, neck bones, peach cobbler, grits and sausage for breakfast. All the things from my childhood, etched in my memory forever. It's my turn now to take the recipes I love and make some of them for the first time on camera. This is where Southern meets City, and I am Alexander Love. Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Do you need the volume? Do you gotta have the volume? No, you don't have to pause it. You can play the game, but do you have to have the volume? I'm just... Okay, I could have been nicer about that. Okay, guys, welcome. That was me and my roommate, Matt. When you have roommates, you have to share space, okay? Welcome back, guys. Today we're gonna go ahead and make a chili. I got this recipe from Soulful Tea on YouTube, and I want to actually give her recognition because she makes a lot of great things, and I stole this from her because it was simple and it looks like it tastes very, very good. This is the first time I've ever made a chili. I remember growing up, my grandmother always made chili, and that was one thing that we would eat throughout the winter because it was a hearty, like, kind of dinner, and it's very inexpensive, I found out, to actually make. On the end right there, you got the ground beef. We went ahead and got the 80-20 ground beef. We have our tomato paste, crushed tomatoes, and our tomato puree. Black beans, our pinto beans, and our red kidney beans. I had to look up the difference between a dark red kidney bean and a light red kidney bean, but I think it's just the texture and kind of the bite of the bean. Onion powder, I had to get some more pepper, my little McCormick grinder. We have seasoning salt to season the meat. I got some garlic powder and some ground cumin to put in there. We also have our salt. Now, when it comes to this chicken broth right here, a lot of people, I've seen somebody who used tomato juice. Some people use water. I didn't want to use water because water don't got no taste to it. It's just fucking water, okay? But I wanted to go ahead and use a chicken broth because I feel like it would add a little extra flavor to the chili. I got this huge pepper. We have a huge fat daddy ass onion, a red bell pepper, and then I got 2 green bell peppers for the fact that I don't know how to make cornbread from scratch. I'm going to teach myself. You guys know I'm going to teach myself, but I don't know how to make them from scratch. So right now, I just go ahead and get the Jiffy cornbread, the boxes of cornbread, because it's really good and it has a little honey flavor to it. I add a little sugar to mine. I know it's too much sweetness, but I mean, look at me. And you can change the meat and make it a turkey kind of meat kind of thing. You can add celery to this. You can do whatever you want to do, but this is where I'm going to start with making my first chili. Stay tuned. Now this recipe, I'm going to start here. A lot of the recipes that you guys are watching me cook, we're going to start here. And then in the future, I'm going to start to tweak a lot of things. And you want to make sure you chop them up so you can eat them easily. You don't want big chunks of bell pepper in your chili. I'm going to get rid of all that white on the inside of the pepper. Cut all that white out. Now I will reiterate in almost all my videos that a lot of the things that I'm cooking, guys, I thought it was going to be very hard for me to cook them. And little did I know that most of the stuff that I'm cooking right now is very, very simple. I think that it's really important that we learn how to cook for ourselves and our families from scratch. We live in an age now where you can Uber and DoorDash food and have it right at your doorstep, but the food that you get is not food that is hearty and necessarily good for your soul. If you can learn how to cook on your own and just take the first step. Most of y'all motherfuckers need some knife sharpeners. Because if you crying while you cutting your onion, that means your knives ain't sharp enough.
They usually blow off all of my knives.
I'm not crying yet. Damn, you trying to say my knife is dull, Matt? I ain't crying yet, so maybe my knife ain't that dull. Okay. Oh shit, I can feel the tears coming, y'all. Oh shit. Ooh, bitch. Tears are coming, y'all. Y'all, my eyes is watering like a mother. Oh, they watering like a motherfucker. Okay. Okay. And then next what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually move over to the stove, and then I'm gonna throw everything in the pot and start frying everything and add my seasonings. Once we actually get this started, guys, it doesn't take much. The most time that this is gonna take is this, the prep, which I could have did before I started shooting this video, but too late now. This is gonna be my chili pot. I'm probably gonna end up filling this whole damn thing up. I'm gonna put it on probably medium high heat. I'm gonna drop a little bit of Crisco in the bottom of this, and our onions, our red pepper, our green pepper. This is our good old chuck, ground beef chuck. Could you imagine? Big. You imagine somebody slap you across the face with this. Yeah. And since this is so much, you want to make sure you mix it. And I might have to brown my hamburger meat, or start browning it at least, and another pot off to the side. I'm going to go ahead and just add my onion, my whole onion to that. I got another pan right here. I'm going to cut this in half. Put one half in there, let that start to brown, and then put the other half in. Whole roll, 3-pound roll. I took my rings off so you don't get meat stuck in your ring, and your rings are dirty and stuff. You don't want that dirt in your food. So I washed my hands. We're going to take our hamburger meat, kind of drop it in that pan. You hear it? Good. After we drain the fat off of it, we're going to put our meat with our veggies after they're nice and cooked and fried. It's 8 o'clock. Yeah, see, niggas always cooking late. Growing up, like, we would eat dinner or whatever. It was never just always at 6, man. It could be at 8, 9. Just whenever the shit got done. So we got our hands nice and clean again. I am just aiming to really just take the first step in learning these recipes and then understanding the processes in making them. So then when I'm comfortable enough, I can always tweak. You know, you can always tweak seasonings and tweak meat and tweak anything, but you have to just take the first step in understanding at least where you know, how it's done. See that? They're starting to cook. I'm just mixing them so they cook evenly. If I put the meat over top of that, the meat's not going to have direct contact with the bottom of that pan. That's why I said I need to cook this in a separate, cook the meat in a separate pan. You guys can see, it's starting to brown. So we went ahead and added the rest of our meat to our pan, and I turned the heat up a little bit because half of it is starting to brown, the other half went in. Seasonings are always the most important part. So for starters, I'm going to go ahead, this is a brand new thing of that Lowry's. So we got some Lowry's. We're going to go ahead and sprinkle that right on top of our hamburger meat. And we want to make sure we get, you know, you ain't got to go light. It's just adding flavor. Just add a little flavor. But don't go too heavy though, especially if you're watching your sodium intake. So if I could estimate, I would say probably about a tablespoon of that, especially for 3 pounds of that meat. You want to add a little flavor to it. Our onion powder. Now I do have onions in this, but it never hurts to add a little bit more onion powder to it, especially to the hamburger as it fries. I got another McCormick grinder. My mother turned me on to these. I love them. You can always add a little bit more. So what we're going to do is make sure that we let this all fry, you know, get it nice and fried up. And we're going, if we need to add more of any of them, depending on your taste, you can always go back and add more. It's Black History Month. You got to do it extra. 2 grinds. You got the garlic powder right here, and if you can get like actual garlic cloves, that would be good. It's always best to get the fresh and not the little bottle shits, but it's say organic. Put that in there, give it a little flavor, and then we're gonna do about a teaspoon of cumin. Just a teaspoon of cumin. And like I said, if I don't think this is seasoned enough, we can go back and add some shit to it. Whether it be a little bit more garlic powder, onion powder, whatever. Just whatever it takes. Ooh, that cumin smells so good. That smells like tacos. That grilled chicken I got in the freezer with them potato wedges, we're gonna have to hit it up with some of this motherfucking cumin. We got our meat with all of our seasonings in it, our garlic powder, our cumin, our pepper, our seasoning salt, all those nice little things are in there. So we're gonna dump our jalapeno in there. And this is really reminding me of my Meemaw's house, okay? And my Meemaw, like, she could fill the house with all those aromas, and you could be laying in the back room or laying on the couch in the family room watching TV, and just the smell of her food, like, it's probably why I was an overweight kid. I ain't gonna lie, I was a fat boy. And all of my cousins, they never failed to remind me how I was overweight. They took pride in letting me know that I was overweight. It's starting to smell motherfucking good. As you guys can see, it's a little. It's probably about, I say that's about a cup. That's a cup of juice. You see that? That's not that much. I'm going to revisit these seasonings if it needs more. It's Black History Month. We season, okay? We always season. Because I went ahead and added a little bit of all of my seasonings to it again. It actually tastes good. It tastes fairly good. So I got my veggies. And I got my meat right here. I'm going to take my meat and start to put that back in my pan. Alright. I'm going to show you guys that. You see how it's starting to look? Starting to get everything kind of combined really well. Oh, and it smells great. This whole thing. So T told me to go ahead and put this 32-ounce thing of this broth, this chicken broth in there. I'm going to go ahead and turn this up so it starts to really simmer and boil and start to really kind of cook. Crushed tomatoes. Oh, you got peeled, pureed, crushed. You got diced. It's so many different formations of how you can get tomatoes based upon what you're making. We got 1 can, which is 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes. We're going to go ahead and pour that in there without splashing it on my goddamn shirt. Shit fucking stinks.
I can hear that splash all the way from here.
Listen. So I'm going to pour it in the spoon and slowly drop that in my pot. Alright, so we got all of that out. I'm sure it's going to be a spot of tomato something on my shirt. That's what it's starting to look like. See? We're going to take our puree and we're going to drop it in the spoon and then drop it down in the pan so it don't splash every fucking where. I'm going to show y'all. Pour it in the spoon, lower the spoon, and then just pour that in there like that. And you see it's not splashing? Okay. So I went ahead and drained my kidney beans, my black beans, and my pinto beans. And I'm going to drop all these in there. Okay? Now these are out of the can. I just want to get all that juice that they were sitting in out of that, off of them. Perfect pan, perfect pot for this. Okay, so we're gonna mix that up. We got all of our beans in there. Looks so pretty. That looks great. That look good. Y'all mad? Y'all mad because y'all want to taste it, don't y'all? Okay. I wish I could pass a bite on a spoon through the camera, but if I could, I would. I would charge you for it, but I would. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. We got our heat turned up to about a medium high because this is a big pot. I'm gonna get my lid for this. Before we let it do its little thing, let's add our tomato paste. This is our tomato paste. Like I told y'all, tomatoes come in many different fucking forms. Peeled, crushed, fucking pureed. This is paste, more concentrated. I guess it's more flavor, you know. So I'm going to take my spoon and dig out. That's about half of that can, okay? But this is a big-ass pot of chili. So we're going to take that whole thing, scoop it in there, and we're going to mix that. This is why you want your heat up so everything can start to kind of combine and, you know, start to really kind of meld together. And it smells so damn good. I think I might just go ahead and add the whole can. Honestly, you can already see it starting to thicken up. It's just like a roux in some kind of way. It's so concentrated, but it's just like a roux or a slurry. It's like an automatic thick, but as it sits here, it's going to just meld together so well. It is. Cover it up, and we're going to leave it alone. So now it's going to be time for our cornbread, okay? Stay tuned. Don't come for me because Alexander still has not learned how to make the cornbread from scratch. So we have 4 boxes. It smells so good in the house right now. Now this should make a full pan of cornbread. You know what? I might still add probably about a half a cup of sugar in this shit, just to sweeten it a little bit. I like sweet cornbread. You can have it, you know, without the sweetness, but I like sweet cornbread. 4 whole boxes. Throw them motherfuckers in there, just like that. 2, 3. Grab this one. You got 4 up in that motherfucker, just like that. Preheat your oven to 350. This is gonna be the cup of milk. Go ahead and pour her on in there. And see, like I said, like in my situation, I'm city. My grandma's southern, but I'm city, and I'm gonna tell you the difference right now is I'm putting it in a pan, but I'm missing my cast iron skillets. Cast iron skillets connects you to your ancestors, okay? That pre-seasoning that comes in the skillet is the seasoning from your ancestors. Remember that. But I'm not doing anything special. I'm following the recipe on the box. That's it. But I'm just gonna put a little sugar in it just to make sure it tastes sweet, okay? And this is honey Jiffy honey cornbread, so it already has a honey flavor to it, but the sugar's gonna add a little extra sweetness. We're gonna spray her down. Bop, 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 bop. Side, just like that. Pour that in the pan. Just fill my pan up about halfway, which is good because it's gonna bake and kind of expand and thicken up a little bit. Okay, I kind of wanted to just show you guys what it's looking like now and how it's starting to thicken up. I'm trying to be careful I don't get no tomatoes on my shirt. That's going to be from that tomato paste. So you got all your tomatoes in there, both crushed and pureed. And then you got all that flavor from your seasoning, your meat, your beans. Your chicken broth in there just to give it extra flavor. And then it's going to start to thicken up by itself. So we want to see it do that, right? I was going to add more paste to it, but I'm not now because it just needs to keep cooking, and as it cooks, it thickens. But that's starting to look really good. She's hot. She's hot. You see that? She's hot.
It's chili and it doesn't have chili powder.
Okay, but listen.
It's Black History Month and I'm white and I'm telling you to put seasoning in.
Okay, listen. You can
There's
fuck
something
off.
very wrong
Do we have
happening
chili
right now.
powder in here?
I don't know. We can look for it.
He's getting in my ass because I didn't put chili powder in this shit.
There's no chili
listen.
powder in the chili.
It's still going to be fucking good. Watch it.
It's not chili.
It is chili. This has Chipotle. It don't see no damn chili powder on this mother.
It doesn't say chili powder?
Tomatoes, vinegar, onions, garlic, salt, sugar, red habanero peppers. Actually, it's not that. Black pepper and spices. So that's pretty much some of the same stuff that I was putting in here.
This has chili pepper in it. You can see it. There's the word Chipotle. And Chipotle is not a restaurant. It's actually a pepper that's been sun-dried like a raisin.
He thinks because he's a chef, he thinks that he can always take my shit up a notch. But it's okay because at the end of the day...
I don't think I know.
No, but he thinks he knows. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? He thinks he knows. But Matt talking shit about it already before he even put his lips around a spoon. And then we're going to go from there.
As the ancient Greeks used to say, fail to plan, plan to fail.
This fucking guy.
This fucking guy. That's right. It does smell good.
Yeah, it smells good. See, he didn't even taste the shit yet before he talking about what the fuck I put in it. Looks good though, right?
It does.
Oh, y'all know what I did not get? I didn't get no fucking sour cream and shredded cheese.
We have shredded cheese.
Look at that.
Add some cheese to it.
Boom. Little cheese. All right.
Cheese is the best garnish for chili.
Right now I'm gonna show that to you guys so you guys can see that. It's good.
Nice and sticky.
Remember that movie Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy? Alright, so he's getting on me about this chili powder. Let's see if we can taste the difference.
It's hot. Yeah. It's pretty okay, even without the chili powder by itself.
Right. Not gonna lie, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Right?
Like, I would put it better than average.
He'll give me better than average on the first pot.
I have high standards on shit. Because, like, if you didn't know what you're doing and I tasted it, I would be like, this sucks. Like Gordon Ramsay.
Wait, so what are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that it's better than average, even to my standards. Because, like, if it sucked, if you're just trying to make chili and, like, do all this weird stuff because you didn't know what you were doing, then I would tell you that.
I'm gonna put chili powder in it next time. Now, we just ate this shit right off the heat. It's, like, super fucking hot.
I will need to sit down, but
Yeah. I want you to try the cornbread before you leave.
I gotta get it, like, soaked into the cornbread.
Yeah. Is it good? Is it really good though, for real? Or are you just exaggerating?
No, like I said, it was above average, but with the cornbread,
It's even better.
it's even better.
Woo! See? Whenever I find a man, you're mine. Remember that. You're fucking mine. This does take me back to my grandmother's recipe, even though it's not my grandmother's chili. Her chili is different and it's better, but I can make it on my own. Like I said, simple recipe, simple ingredients. Get in the kitchen, try it. If you mess up, just do it again and just keep at it. Thank you, Soulful Tea, for giving me the recipe for my first chili. Show love through food, okay? It's great.
Like I said in Ratatouille, anybody can cook.
That's true. If a rat can do it, I'm not comparing myself to no fucking rat. But
It's a Disney rat. It's a Disney rat.
So make sure you guys stay tuned. Make sure you like, comment, share, and actually subscribe to my channel. Y'all make sure y'all try this chili. Don't sleep on this motherfucking chili. Bye, guys. That's some good shit.